So welcome to Vanquish. My name is DE Cosmic. We'll be running on any % casual with.
E vamos começar a run de Vanquish. The Cosmic tá aí explicando aí o básico e tal. Eu vou basicamente traduzir para vocês o que ele vai falar. Tipo, eu joguei o jogo, já terminei o jogo. Gostei muito, inclusive.
Hey there, I'm Demonic Robots. I'm going to be helping explain some of the tech and the story for this game because it's a little hard to keep track of everything, but yeah, can't wait to see how this goes.
Alright, so first things first, we are Sam doing Sam things. The character's name is Sam Gideon that we'll be playing. So the time is going to start when I skip the first cutscene. So I'll do a countdown here in 3, 2, and 1, start. So, welcome to Vanquish again. We are Sam Gideon.
Vamos lá. Ah, rapaz. Já estou feliz. Porque sim, teremos dashes com joelhos indestrutíveis. E coxas indestrutíveis também, pelo visto.
We're gonna go ahead and slide on over here, grab this little thing that we'll explain in a second, and we're gonna head on up here. Take this guy out. He wasn't a nice guy, so we're gonna
Lore do jogo. Ótima pergunta. Eu não me lembro. Faz muito tempo que eu joguei o jogo. Eu lembro de que ele era mais ou menos, entendeu? Mas faz muito tempo que eu joguei. A gente tá falando de um jogo da época de Play 3, né? Eu joguei do Play 3. Se alguém souber aí a lore do jogo, eu aceito uma explicação, hein?
Was brought in order to do a couple things. One was to stop the energy array and make sure that they don't destroy New York, as they threaten to do that unless.
Era esse daí o jogo que a Microsoft estava de grande graça uma vez? É bem possível. Porque eu acredito que eu tinha Vanquish pela PlayStation Plus na época. Acredito que eu tenha recebido justamente por isso. Bem, ele vai esperar, né?
Master Chief's shield, where once it runs out, he will be vulnerable and he can only take a couple more hits before he dies. However, the heat gauge is not just a health bar, it also is like an endurance bar. So you can see it going right down. Whenever he is doing that slide, it's going to be using some of his heat gauge. And if it runs out completely, Sam's suit will overheat, and again, he'll be vulnerable and not be able to do anything that uses the heat gauge, like slide around.
Tá, basicamente aquela barra central que ele tem ali, ele tá explicando que é uma barra que serve como um escudo para proteger a vida dele e também serve para algumas movimentações, incluindo o slide, né? Então ele sempre vai ter que ficar de olho ali para poder fazer as movimentações.
I was gonna say, just so I understand, the heat gauge is both kind of a health resource and an energy resource, like combined?
Correct.
Okay.
É, basicamente, quando ele acabou de explicar, tipo, a barra serve tanto como barra de recurso como barra de vida, né?
You know, it just allows you to just move around a little bit smoother. And where is this guy actually at? Hold on, where are you going? Okay, that's fine. I'll just sacrifice one shot there. That'll work. That didn't even work. But we're gonna take out these dudes too here with the walker. And then take out the transport. They're gonna send in some more dudes over here. Excuse me, sir.
Okay. It also doesn't actually use the heat gauge when he does that melee dash cancel. So it's a viable alternative if you don't actually have any heat gauge to use.
Yeah, the only thing is that you don't want to use it while enemies are around because Sam will auto-target enemies, and if he hits an enemy with a melee attack, because his suit is a prototype suit, it's not like totally finished, there's some kinks that need to be worked out. It'll actually overheat his suit immediately if he does the melee attack. So we don't want to do the melee dash cancels while there are enemies around.
Ele quer evitar ataques melee nos inimigos, porque esses ataques também dão overheat nessa barra de nessa barra
We're
dele.
gonna be taking out these 2 dropships. This is one of the things that we do in this game to make a lot of the fights faster, is we just prevent enemies from spawning in.
Então ele vai ser, e fora que o auto-target funciona, né? Então,
We
tipo,
don't want to fight any of them. We have
ele
to
tem que
go
tomar muito
down
cuidado
there
com
and
esses
have a
slides,
nice
porque
time.
ele vai acabar sendo
After they're all
forçado
dead, I'm gonna go ahead and
aos
set up the
inimigos, né?
boss
Então,
here in a second.
grande parte da movimentação
This
aí
is
que ele
called the
precisa
artist
fazer as
sword.
coisas,
And
ele
this
tem que
boss has
ao
2
mesmo tempo
phases
evitar
to
os
it.
inimigos para
So
não
first we're gonna just
forçar um
take out
ataque
the red
melee.
dot here. Hold up. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Sem muito segredo,
Come on, dude.
ele tem que
There we go.
acertar o
Alright,
ponto
so
fraco, né?
now that this thing is kind of transforming into its second form, I have some time to grab some drops here, which are RNG, and I'm going to stand over here because I want
Enquanto o boss fazer a
artist
transformação
sword to turn to
para a
its
segunda
right
fase
so that I can
dele,
hop on this turret. This is a
ele aproveitou para fazer uma
this is
coletinha de
totally
itens
random
ali,
if I actually get this
tá
quick
esperando
kill
as
here, because
fases.
if like these big energy waves will come out after I destroy the arm, and if one of them hits me, I get knocked off the turret. So let's just hope that that doesn't happen.
Fingers crossed for good RNG. Let's see.
Ok, ele vai tentar fazer essa quick kill.
Oh, that looks good, right?
That's good. Got it.
Nice.
Excellent. Then we're just
Nice.
gonna grab this upgrade cube
Ele
here.
queria
Now,
evitar uma onda de choque ali, porque a onda de choque
Yes,
ela
so,
derrubaria ele
they're
da
not gonna be
turret,
for
né?
Sam's suit or anything like that. In fact, they're actually going to be for the weapons. So every single weapon is going to have its own individual kind of upgrade system, the stars and stripes, and each of them are going to be individually ranked from each other. So you're going to see a lot of upgrade queues around. We're going to be wanting to upgrade specific weapons, and when you upgrade them, they get specific bonuses towards them depending on the weapon. So like they might get cooldown reduction, or they
Cara, deu saudade desse jogo, viu?
Something along those lines.
Realmente, esse jogo é extremamente fluido.
On upgrading a weapon called the anti-armor pistol. Now I know the name pistol is in there, but trust me, this is more than a pea shooter. This weapon is actually insane in this game.
Yeah, the anti-armor pistol is actually the reason that this category is called with DLC, because that weapon is DLC, but it comes with the PC version of the game. So it's so strong that we needed to separate out categories for it. We're also gonna use grenades now. We're gonna slow down some time, blow up all these guys with a grenade.
That was cool.
And if you actually shoot the grenades
Nice!
in this game, it
Vocês viram
will
isso?
increase the
Ele jogou granada, usou o slow time pra atirar na própria granada.
It's a very stylish game.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Our
So-
objective here, by the way, is to free these dudes that are just around here. There we go.
It should be also worth mentioning that Sam's suit is able
Esses
to
dashes são os melhores,
slow
velho.
motion mode. It does use his heat gauge though, so again he has to balance it out with that. But it's not something that he can just turn on with the press of the button.
E tudo isso que ele faz usa a barra, né? Então ele tem que tomar muito cuidado aí.
Specific flashy movement like vaulting over cover or doing it out of a dodge roll, stuff like that. So to do that along with timing the grenade throws, it's actually a lot harder than Cosmic is making it look.
Yeah, what a fun movement sandbox this looks to be.
It's so great, dude. So the first thing that we're gonna do here is this is a section where we actually have to kill every enemy in the vicinity, and we want to make sure that we do this just because, especially because not only will it progress the mission, but we really don't want to take damage, because even though this is on casual, these enemies still kind of hit hard. So we want to just make sure that we take out as many damage sources as possible while we're doing that. Oh, there's the sniper that I'm looking for.
I noticed you frequently checking
Aí ele é forçado a derrotar todos os inimigos, né? Mas mesmo estando no casual, ele tem que tomar muito cuidado com o dano que ele for levar aí.
It dropped there in a second here, so let me actually. What are you doing, bud? Don't do that. Anyway. So I'm looking for this
Ele tá
weapon
procurando por
specifically,
um
the
drop
sniper
específico ao
rifle.
mesmo tempo aí.
This is the best movement weapon in the game, and we'll see in a second here when we do the dash cancels and stuff with it. But the sniper rifle, even though it kind of behaves like it's from a different game entirely, it's definitely not suited to more of the fast-paced action that we got going on. It does have the fastest melee dash cancel in the entire game. So a lot of this run is based around having the...
Ele tava tentando achar uma arma, e porque a arma tem o melhor dash cancel do jogo. E ele conseguiu a arma, vamos ver como é que vai ser.
The sniper rifle. We're also going to do this right here.
And so your melee animation will change based on what weapon you have out?
That is correct.
Cara, atirar na granada assim no alto é
Very
uma
concerning
coisa
to think
linda,
that a
velho.
majority of the melee animations are Sam either punching or kicking, just in a slightly different way. So I don't know why he needs a sniper rifle in order to do that super high kick, and he can't just like do that with, I don't know, with the assault rifle. But I don't know, maybe Sam just, he needs to be flashy.
The
Right,
animation is so
exactly.
over the top. I love it.
It's so good. This is also a good time where we're going to see the lock-on laser here. This is the only time we'll see it in the run. This is a good time to mention that this game was developed for consoles and designed for controllers. Brian, you probably noticed immediately that in the bottom right-hand corner there, it looks like a D-pad, right?
Yeah, that is very much like a D-pad selection wheel down there. It looks straight out of something like Gears of War. Yeah.
So,
Eles estão comentando que os desenvolvedores pensaram no jogo pro console mesmo, né? Embora seja um FPS e tal, eles pensaram no jogo pra console mesmo.
Faster than doing the slide?
This is, yep. This is the fastest form of movement in the entire game.
Wow.
We're gonna take this out. Oh my goodness, that tank did a lot of damage.
Rapaz, esses roundhouse kicks aí, ele tá falando que é mais rápido que o dash, velho.
Go ahead. Oh, I was just gonna say, so what happened right there is Cosmic actually got stunned. So even though he didn't actually like lose his heat gauge, he took enough damage that his suit kind of freaks out, and everything goes into slow motion as it slowly drains it. So he's gonna be trying to avoid that later on because it's essentially almost like getting stun locked, since it just completely messes up your movement and it slows the game down so you don't move as quickly either.
Next, we're actually going to be using these high explosives here to blow up barricades. This is just
Isso vai ter um literal Chuck Norris aí, joelhos indestrutíveis, sempre que possível, dando roundhouse kicks aí.
We're going to have to get to, don't mind me like roundhouse kicking through my homies there, not at all. So we're going to have to be like following this armored vehicles following us, and we just got to get through this area, plant a high explosive, and then we'll use like a checkpoint to bring them closer to us as well.
I feel like this has been the perfect GDQ to have the GDQ spin emote introduced, because there've just been like so many there've been so many spin mechanics used for movement in like so many runs this event, and Vanquish is not letting me down right now.
Eles estão falando que o GDQ Spin foi perfeito para esse momento, porque esse jogo você gira chutando, gira rolando.
That is what I like to see. We're Sam, dude, doing some spin things. So here we go. And again, I don't want to use the melee movement here because there are enemies around, so I just want to make sure that I get out of range here. And then we're good to go. And we're going to checkpoint reset. This will bring the armored vehicle to us. And then we're going to be able to mow down these jellyfish here with the anti-armor piercer.
Those dudes look straight out of Titanfall 2, like the ticks. Interesting.
There may be a lawsuit there, I don't know.
Beleza, uns jellyfish obrigatório aí.
Tile section reminds me of the part from Gears of War 2, where they're kind of doing a very similar thing.
É isso aí, ele gira rolando, rola girando, chuta girando. É isso aí, velho.
Yeah, so at what point is, like, what's going on in the story right now? Who is Burns?
Yes.
Demonic?
So, Robert Burns is the main Marine that we're going to be hanging out with. Him and Sam don't get along very well. Burns doesn't like the fact that Sam smokes very, very often, even in the middle of the battle, as you can see. But so that kind of got them off to a rocky start. But Burns doesn't really trust Sam, considering the fact that Sam isn't a Marine. He's actually a member of DARPA, so he doesn't really fall under the military umbrella that he does. But right now, we're trying to get closer to the center of this microwave array, and we're also trying to find a bad guy named Victor Zaitsev, who is essentially the one.
Ele tá explicando parte da história, ele tá tentando achar um cara mal chamado Victor, e que o Birds aí, na verdade, não é bem um militar, né? Ele é parte da DARPA ali, que, se eu entendi corretamente, é quem desenvolveu o exoesqueleto do Sam. Sam é o nosso personagem principal.
And I should probably mention, by the way, since I'm doing a lot of this already, there is reload canceling in this game. So you can just go ahead and swap a gun unto itself, and especially on KBM, this is like one of the few straight up advantages that KBM has over a controller, is that on the first two slots you can swap guns unto themselves. But on the slot that we have the sniper rifle, you cannot do that to reload cancel. You have to switch from another weapon.
Ah, interessante. Uma das desvantagens que o jogo tem no PC com relação aos consoles é que o jogo permite que você faça uma troca de arma para ela mesma. E isso acelera o tempo de reload.
I always love like little weird speedrunning quirks like that. Like just for some reason it just doesn't work on the bottom slot.
Yeah, right. All right. So
it seems like most of the movement in this game is just kind of, I mean, I guess we touched on it a bit before, but it seems like you're always just trying to balance that heat gauge. So, and you're trying to choose like the fastest possible option depending on, you know, whether you're going to be like sliding or doing like a melee dash cancel or anything like that. It's all kind of contextual in that way.
Yeah, it's all kind of contextual, not only on how much.
Eu adoro como a arma dele se remonta, velho. Tipo, ele se mexe, a arma se remonta toda, né? Tipo, é parte da armadura.
But you maybe use all of your heat gauge to get through an area with enemies. So you have to do other stuff like you know, dodge rolls with the slide startup on it because you can do that too. So there's like 3 or 4 different movement mechanics that we use to get through a lot of these areas, depending on what lies in our path, as well as what lies in our wake, and how we've used previous movement techniques to get
sem muito segredo.
areas before.
Tem que limpar os inimigos. Pô, eu lembro que eu demorei um tempinho pra chegar nessa parte aí, velho. 15 minutos ele já tá aí.
There's like a big enemy that coming up that does a lot of damage, so I don't want to go in like with no heat gauge or something. You know, stuff like that.
It's also something like when you do the melee boost cancels, you don't want to do them near enemies like Cosmic said, so you have to like plan that out and maybe, okay, I need to use heat gauge around these enemies so I can do a melee dash cancel later on or earlier than that.
Is there a difference between the 2 slides that I've noticed? I know one of them is like on your knees and the other one's kind of like you're sliding into home plate like baseball style.
The baseball style slide is actually the faster of the 2. The knee slide isn't like terribly slower, but it is, you know, like not optimal. So you actually have to do like a flick shot motion. I'm going to explain after this fight here in a second. So this is the bogey boss. We're going to try and make sure that we hit him.
Aquela era uma fight, beleza. Agora é o chefe.
Man, that pistol chunks, holy cow. Whoa, that looks so cool.
So there we go.
So fun fact, that
esse foi o chefe.
In that bogey suit was the Order of the Russian Stars leader, Victor Zaitsev. And in the cutscene that we skipped, essentially we saw the Professor Francois Candide, who actually made Sam's suit right here, along with this entire energy array evil laser beam that destroyed San Francisco. So he's a very important character. But we saw him get onto a plane with a bunch of the Russian robots, and now Sam has to go not only destroy the energy array for Detroit in New York, but he also has to go save that professor.
I just try to do a little out of bounds
Tá,
there.
agora ele tem que destruir uma parada de energia dos russos e salvar um professor.
So that bogey right
Pelo
there,
que eu
we would
entendi.
have had to, if we hadn't gotten its health down to a certain amount, prior to it going into an animation where it'll like pull out its sword, we would have had to do a phase with a QTE, which, you know, again, we don't want to do QTEs in this game, as cool as they are. They do way.
Ele tá avisando que o chefe anterior, que é aquele bogey lá, tinha uma fase que basicamente vocês não viram. Né? Ele era um boss de 2 fases e, enfim, ele só passou por cima.
Absolutely. So right here, we're going to use a grenade to again blow up everybody here.
That looks so cool.
Excuse me.
Sem muito segredo. Jogando uma granada destruindo lá no ar.
And speaking of grenades, there are 2 grenades. There's the regular fragmentation grenade that everyone knows. There's also an EMP grenade, which will stun enemies because we're all fighting a bunch of robots. So the EMP grenades will stun enemies and kind of shut them down for a few moments.
And just another quick question: are like the green boxes? Are those the upgrade things you were talking about? Sorry, I'm not sure if that was covered or not.
Yeah, that's the
okay.
Cubes. Yep.
Cool.
So we're gonna take out these dudes right here. And Burns, I didn't mean. If you hadn't gotten in my way, dude, we wouldn't have had this issue.
Sai da frente, Biggs. O cara entrou no meio, velho.
Whenever you're aiming from something, even if a character is not blocking Sam or his gun physically, if they're blocking the aiming reticle, it'll still block the shot because that's where it aims the bullet from. So that happens.
E sim, o cara bloqueava o tiro estando ali.
Somebody, and it's like, whoops, can't shoot anyone.
Yeah, so now that we've gone through this entire breakneck, first 19 minutes or so of the game, we're now in an 8-minute auto scroller. So yeah, we have to go to another part of the space colony.
Ok, eu não tenho muito o que explicar agora, porque ele tá no auto-scroller de 8 minutos agora. Então ele literalmente abriu espaço para as doações, porque ele vai ficar 8 minutos aí no trenzinho. Se alguém quer buscar um café, essa é a hora. Como é que vocês estão? Tudo bem? Vocês vêm sempre aqui?
We also have a $15 donation from Smashville and it says playing hooky at work to watch a top.
Cara, 8 minutos dá pra terminar Zelda Link to the Past 2 vezes, velho.
Proud of you as always, Cosmic. Good luck with #doingsamthings and much love, brother.
Much love. Can we get another one before we get into
Mais um pouquinho dá pra terminar, sei lá, cara.
Absolutely. We have a $100 donation from CD Mangaka that says, "Hello GDQ and the Cosmic. Mangaka here. I wanted to give a huge shout out."
O que mais? Que runs que a gente pode fazer? Tem campo minado, mas campo minado não vale. Hugo, quais speed jogos eu corro? Vamos lá. Atualmente, assim, a única coisa que eu posso dizer que eu corro de verdade é o Streets of Rage 2, né? Eu já corri outros jogos, Phantasy Star 4, Dungeons and Dragons Shadow of Mistara, eu já corri Cadillac and Dinosaurs, Final Fight. Mas acho que o único que eu ainda corro é o Streets of Rage 2. Monster Hunter World eu fiz uma exibição, vamos chamar assim, tá? Assim, já brinquei da speedrun, mas meu tempo é muito ruim, então nem vamos levar isso em consideração, vai. Final Fight é difícil? Se você tá tentando terminar com uma ficha, sim. Senão é muito tranquilo.
That is essentially a betrayer, somebody who kind of sold out the United States to the Russian Tsar. We don't know who yet, we just know that it's somebody. So that's another part.
Como assim eu sou exibido? Foi você que perguntou, Aterion. Rapaz. Paga um game de Nintendinho? Não. Tenho vontade? Sim.
I also want to go over a weapon exploit here that I'm going to do in a second. So basically what happens with this game is you can only upgrade a weapon by picking up another version of the weapon if the version that you're carrying has full ammo. So the way that we can exploit this system is by picking up a weapon that we're not
É isso, fui tapeado.
drop our non-full ammo version of a
Fui
gun
baitado
on the
com
ground,
sucesso.
and then picking up a full ammo version as one of the drops. So like here I'm going to pick up the rocket launcher, which I'm not currently carrying.
Ó, o Cavalca já tentando me arrastar pro Super Mario 3 aí.
That does have 600 bullets in it, which is my current max, and then I'm going to pick up my old version. So now I get a free ammo upgrade, or I get a free upgrade. Right.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, this is something that we do quite a bit in the run.
Eu sou um cara que, eu provavelmente vou fazer alguma coisa que as pessoas não fizeram ainda, né, dos brasileiros. Então, provavelmente, se eu jogar algum jogo do NES, sei lá, cara, acho que assim, é super difícil, tá? Mas eu acho que eu tentaria o Batman do Nintendinho. É super difícil, é uma speedrun complicada, mas eu piro muito naquela speedrun. Sei lá, eu tenho uma paixãozinha pessoal por ele. Vanquish tem DLC de história? Boa pergunta. Mas basicamente, ok. Hugo, qual run você mais curtiu da SGDQ até agora? Deixa eu pensar. Agora falando sério, não falando com a... Assim, Fat Crab foi legal, mas Fat Crab não é... Enfim. É mais pela diversão mesmo do que pela run em si. Eu acho que a run mais legal...
While I'm taking down these dropships with some with my FaZe Clan application here, we could do some more donations.
Até agora... Cara, eu vou admitir que essa de Destiny 2 me surpreendeu bastante. Entendeu? Essa última agora, que teve logo antes agora de Vanquish. Tipo, GeoGuessr foi legal tal, mas eu já esperava, já tinha assistido outras. Eu já assisti muito ao Full Block, já assisti muitas outras coisas assim. Mas eu fiquei legit surpreso com a run de Destiny, assim, tipo, boa, sabe?
Thanks for the super entertaining run and keep on rocking DE Cosmic.
It is true. This game is like a lot of fun.
Teve Destiny 2, foi a run antes dessa. Teve a speedrun de uma das raids.
I like literally could not contain, I don't know, just like
E assim, foi lindo, tipo, ver, tipo, os caras da raid, cada um em um canto, indo pro chefe, assim, e, tipo, nada a ver com o que você imagina, que é normalmente você andar junto e tal, não sei o quê. Eu fiquei tipo, what? Eu ultimamente ando meio fã das runs co-op, né, tipo, então... A de Destiny 2 me chamou muita atenção. A do Sonic 3D Blast também, em que o TGH lá também fez em conjunto lá também.
Also, this QTE is actually really hard. Like, he's smashing it, and he just barely makes it every single time.
Wow.
Your last year's model.
That was cool.
Something to note, that QTE, like Demonic mentioned, that QTE is really hard because of how FPS is affected in this port. So the PC port, this is where it really comes to the forefront, how much is tied to FPS in this game. So on launch, the most obvious example is that enemy damage was tied to FPS for a while, and the game originally ran at 30 FPS on console. So when people were playing on unlocked frame rate, enemies did more damage, and you can imagine people's reaction to that when they were maybe getting like
interessante. Tipo, o jogo no console ele foi lançado a 30 FPS e o dano era linkado ao FPS. Então quando as pessoas começaram a jogar no PC com PCs que tipo, não tem limitação de FPS, os inimigos começaram a tipo destroçar eles. Interessante, engraçado. Coisas que você não espera que aconteçam num port, né?
Wasn't there even like an article when this game like got ported or something like that touched on that?
Oh yeah, it was called it's called Vanquish maybe.
Eu acho legal do ponto de vista de game design, tipo, que você observa que tipo as dificuldades de se fazer um port, né? Tipo, como que você vai imaginar que uma máquina mais potente vai te gerar um problema no jogo?
Okay, I was gonna say
it kind of reminds me of what happened with Devil May Cry 3 and the difficulties being different depending on like where you were in the world, like between North America and Europe.
E agora isso é até, nas speedruns isso é até mais comum, né? Tipo, tanto que agora que a gente sabe disso, algumas speedruns inclusive são divididas pelo FPS justamente para tipo que as pessoas possam se adequar, né?
Has that been a challenge for y'all from like a speedrun, you know, like rule making or moderation perspective? Like, is there any sort of stuff you have in place for that?
Mas de certo modo, assim, por exemplo, no Resident Evil Remake, a faca dava muito dano porque ela dava dano por frame. Então, quanto maior o frame rate, maior o dano da faca, né? Acho que era isso que acontecia com Resident Evil, não era?
This is so nice to watch after that auto scroller segment. We're schmoving.
Right? Yeah. We are schmoving again. We are through the auto scroller section, and we're gonna be coming up on a double Argus core fight here.
E eu gostaria de avisar vocês que finalmente se acabou o auto scroller.
We're gonna do in 2 phases. We're gonna have 2 bosses that we do in 1 phase each. So the first one is going to be down on, on his legs like spider, like a spider.
Bem, cada chefe desses tem duas fases, ele vai tentar esquipar. São dois chefes, né? E ele vai tentar esquipar as fases de ambos os chefes.
Okay, that's fine, I guess. What is he doing?
Yo, he's on the GDQ stage. He's a little nervous.
Dude,
you need to give him.
You
need to give him a little slack. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, this QTE is fake.
Oh,
I don't have to do a darn thing.
Oh, it's just like The Last of Us.
And then we turn into
E olha que legal.
I don't know.
Esse Quick Time Event, ele não precisava fazer nada.
I don't know. And then we're gonna come up behind this guy right here. We're gonna take out his kneecaps.
That was so ridiculous, even by this game's standards. I just want to say.
Are you pretty sure this isn't a
Olha só, esse robô tava aí de boa até que acertaram o joelho dele.
Yeah, man. These people are gonna be spinning in their grave.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't it rolling in their grave?
Well, Beyblades spin, don't they?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, they're called top spinners.
Nice fights, nice fights.
Okay.
Ambos teriam fases extras, mas ele abusa do... Tipo, a categoria é N% Casual com DLC por causa dessa arma. Entendeu? Tipo, é a única diferença do porquê é esse com DLC. A arma faz muita diferença.
I mentioned earlier that some of the triggers in this game, as far as, gating your progression, they do depend on allies getting to certain points. Maybe I mentioned that, maybe I didn't. Let's assume I did.
O jogo é muito bom, viu? Recomendo muito quem puder pegá-lo. O jogo é muito gostoso de se jogar.
Where did he go? I could. There he is. Well, he was right over there a second ago. Anyway.
Olha o Burns aí voltando. Que é aquele cara lá que a gente tava conversando. Vai, filho, acelera aí.
This is a very Halo-esque AI manip.
Then we're gonna get to the end here on this, and then we're just gonna hope that these guys here teleport to the end with us. And they did. They're so nice. They did it. They weren't shy like the Argus were. I love it.
Man, another blatant thing this game ripped off is the AI teleportation from Gears of War, SMH.
Ele teria que esperar esses caras aí, mas ele tá tentando acelerar o processo aí com eles. Tipo, chutar é mais rápido que deslizar? Sim!
Awesome. We have a $50 donation from B-Mao that says, "You got this, homie." Hashtag doing Sam things. And then here's a good one. We have a $100 donation from
Roundhouse Kick confirmed Speed of Light.
So good to see Vanquish back at GDQ with Cosmic to beautifully show how far.
Pra quem não sabe, Roundhouse Kick é o chute giratório. Mas acho que com o tanto de referências a Chuck Norris que tem na internet, acho difícil alguém não saber, mas se não sabe.
That's so cool to get a donation from Half. Yeah, seriously. What sort of things have changed since that run back in 2015? Like if there's like a couple things you could point out specifically.
There's a couple of out-of-bounds skips that got added. One that specifically skips an auto-scroller section, and really like a lot of like stuff got streamlined in terms of weapon upgrades, and weapon choice even. So we ended up using less like variety of guns throughout the course of the game, and there's more like specialized instances of that. So like even the no DLC category, the difference between DLC and no DLC used to be like 10 minutes, and now the difference is maybe like 5 minutes at most. I think optimally it'd be like 3.5 minutes. And the big thing as well is with KBM aiming and movement, like a lot of stuff there got streamlined as well. Yeah. So once the PC port came out, there was like a whole new world opened up for the game.
Bem, ele tá indo aí, tentando acelerar a galera, né? Porque ele depende deles aí. Então, tipo, vai Burns.
Assuming that's what you're trying to do, I don't know.
Yeah, that is, yeah. I forgot to mention that. I'm so used to just like doing it. Alright, here we go. So this movement section here is actually going to be sort of
a armadura do protagonista ser nanomáquinas.
Earlier where we were talking about the heat gauge management and the different.
Me dá um segundo que eu te respondo. Pera aí. Eu só vou consultar aqui o meu guia para Google.
So the first thing that we're going to be doing once this door opens up here is we're going to be doing some roundhouse kicks through the door.
This is like my favorite section of the run.
And then we're going to be boosting on through these guys. We're just going to take the detour here. And then we're going to be doing some boost rolls, and then we're going to come up here. Now that there's no enemies around, we can do more roundhouse kicks.
Olha
and
só.
our heat gauge is refilled.
2017 saiu
You
o
really
Vanquish
do wanna make it
Remastered.
when there's a lot of objects around you.
Oh yeah.
O jogo original é de 2020. Ou, 2020 não, 2010.
Right here. Go ahead.
This is all just really clean movement from Cosmic, just constantly balancing out the fact that he has to avoid enemies, he has to slide and watch the heat gauge, he can't melee around them. Like, he just makes that look so clean. It's really impressive.
That is really cool. Yeah, that's just so fun to watch. It's an interesting balance this game too between those like high velocity segments like that and a lot of the really heavy combat sections as well.
Yeah, I think that movement, you know, like definitely will make or break a lot of runs, but I would say that there's definitely like a very good balance between combat and movement in this game, which is one of the big reasons that I love it, especially as a speed run. We're gonna take these guys out here too. We did a checkpoint.
Olha só,
reset
Shinji
just to
Mikami,
respawn the enemy
que foi um dos
room
caras que
with
participou de
us. This
Resident
guy's
Evil.
downed. We're gonna help him out. Oh, he gave me a sniper rifle. I appreciate that.
Muito
dude.
interessante.
Oh,
Wow.
there's another one over here.
I thought you
got
straight
you
up
an
killed him.
upgrade,
I'm not
too.
gonna lie. I thought he just died.
Nah, just give him a good old shot of Mountain Dew and that soldier's ready to fight again. He doesn't have his gun to fight with, but he'll go in bare knuckle brawler.
Amen. All right, so this is the first of the two out of bounds sections actually, or through bounds really. So let's see if I can hit this. This is going to save probably about 20 or so seconds over just doing the segment regularly.
É uma vestimenta, é a Augmented Reaction
There
Suit
we go.
que ele usa.
Oh,
E
that's-
esse Augmented
whoa.
Reaction é justamente o
And we're out.
Oh, that was clean, dude. Nicely done.
o modo de slow time ali, né, de câmera
So
lenta.
now we've skipped an entire like couple of elevator sections.
Mas não é exatamente dando
We can
máquina,
go
são
ahead through.
a roupa dele é tipo é literalmente um exoesqueleto.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
These guys are accosting me.
Esse slide é bug? Não.
the sliding up
Esse
there.
slide aí é padrão do
I was
jogo.
gonna say.
Yeah.
It looks so weird.
O que ele usa pra andar mais rápido que o slide são os chutes giratórios.
Because we want to be sure that we are able to throw a couple of hand grenades up top when a bunch of enemies are spawning in. What are you doing here, sir? So here we go. I think that they're going to spawn in right now. Okay. We're going to do that. We're going to pick up this rocket launcher here in a second. One of them didn't go up here. Oh, it's fine. Okay, anyway. So, take this guy out. That's actually going to destroy the...
Eu acho barato ele jogando granada. Parece que ele é tipo um jogador de handball profissional, né?
Oh, nice.
Ele
pegou o rocket launcher só pro tanque que apareceu ali.
And then just dust him.
The enemy design of this game is awesome.
And now Burns is going to be nice because he's going to come over here to the elevator immediately, right?
Right. Come on, Burns. I know you're lugging around like 800 pounds of gear, but man, you
Vamos, Burns. Vai pro elevador, Burns. Vai pro elevador, Burns.
Also, you're gonna notice something that Cosmic actually doesn't have any frag grenades in his inventory right now. However, he's still gonna be able to throw them.
Cara, esse dash é divertidíssimo, cara.
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it.
Vale
So, this
muito.
boss is about to just go die.
O jogo é muito bom.
With certain animations of how you throw the grenade, especially the EMP grenade, if you throw it while you're moving, it actually has like a second to queue up. And if you swap grenades in the middle of that animation, it will use the other grenade instead, and then it won't actually use any grenades. So as long as you have like one EMP grenade or one frag grenade, you essentially have unlimited grenades for both of them.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. And that actually will
Nossa,
help you circumvent a
ele tá
lot of
explicando
the
que a maneira como as granadas funcionam,
encounter with,
existe uma maneira que se você tiver pelo menos uma granada de cada, né, uma frag e uma normal, você consegue alternar de uma determinada maneira em que você tem granadas infinitas.
Fortunately, again, the RNG's been kind of good this run, so I'm pretty happy. This is another intercom section where... Go ahead, Brian.
I was just gonna say, enjoy that while it lasts. That is
Olha, se você tá jogando no console, todo mundo é ruim, tá? Serve de console, todo mundo é ruim no console. Tem um vídeo fantástico, deixa eu até ver o nome aqui, da Viva La Dirt League, que eu recomendo vocês assistirem, tá? Que fala sobre, tipo, mira com jogadores de console, né? Tipo, cara, é maravilhoso.
All in support of Doctors Without Borders, also known as MSF is an international medical humanitarian and aid organization.
E é muito bom lembrar, né? Você que chegou agora, tá perdido aí. O que tá acontecendo? A gente tá assistindo o Vanquish na retransmissão oficial da Summer Games Done Quick 2021, maratona beneficente de speedruns que tá ajudando a Médicos Sem Fronteiras, né? Eles já arrecadaram mais de 808 mil dólares já nessa edição do evento. E estamos aqui aproveitando aqui o The Cosmic aqui tá esmirilhando o Vanquish. Oh meu Deus, tá difícil.
We got time for a couple of donations because this is just a really big fight that I gotta manage here. So
perfect. Well, we've got plenty of donations. Zio donates $15 and says, "Hey, Zio here. Good luck on the run, Cosmic. May the drop grenade drop RNG be with you on this run. Go Sam, go. Also, thanks to GDQ for another awesome event. Hashtag doing Sam things."
Zio is the current world record holder for this game.
A run de Pokémon vai ser randomizer? Eu acredito que não, porque a speedrun de Pokémon é black and white. E se eu me lembro bem, só tem randomizer de Crystal, da Crystal pra baixo.
Shout out to DE Cosmic for the cool movement and to Brian Otto for the stellar commentary.
Yo, okay, give a shout out to Demonic as well. He's been killing it the whole time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course.
Até porque eu ando brincando nos randomizers de Crystal lá e apanhando com grande consistência.
They turned off the lights, dude. That's the explanation.
Yeah, so you're probably wondering what's happening in the story. Again,
what is happening in the story? I am wondering. Yes.
I'm gonna sound like a one-track record. We are still trying to get to the center microwave energy array. Honestly, Sam just gets very easily distracted with trying to help people and trying.
Ele tá falando que, tipo, com relação à história, eles ainda estão tentando resolver a parada de energia lá.
They know what they signed up for, leave them behind, and Sam is like, what? No, we're gonna go help them. So that's the main source of conflict between their relationship.
E o Sam e o Burns estão brigando a respeito de, tipo, o Sam é o cara, tipo, não, vamos ajudar as pessoas, e o Burns, não, a missão vem primeiro.
Exactly.
Alright, so after this fight right here,
Hard Gold Randomizer deve ser o mesmo randomizer de Crystal.
We actually time out pauses as well because there's certain sections where you can lose a ton of time due to how FPS.
Porque é Gold, Silver e Crystal é a união dos dois, se eu não me falha. Acho que é isso. Se eu não me falha é isso. Ou é o terceiro. Uma coisa assim. Só peguei pra jogar o Crystal, gente, calma. Pokémon não é o jogo que eu comento, então eu não lembro.
But we're just gonna roll the dice and oh my god, is he gonna do it? He did it! Oh my gosh! Yo, okay. That guy is either the world's most useless Marine or the most useful because he can lose you like 25 seconds just if he decides to not lower the bridge. Like, okay, bud. Cool. I appreciate it though. Let me get that man's ID number.
Ok.
God, I still love seeing you do that slow
nice.
Motion, like, shooting the grenade out of the air. And I love that it has like an actual gameplay.
Atirar na granada assim é a coisa mais linda que tem, né? Os bichos vêm, ele para, mira, estoura.
This was one of those things that, like, you know, Zio specifically is an extremely talented like mechanical player, and his aim is just like really, really good. So a lot of his strats were based on having good aim, but I don't have as good aim because I'm not as good of a god gamer. So like I had to compensate with a lot of like better.
Eles estão explicando que tipo que muitas das strats do Cosmic são baseadas na habilidade mecânica dele, que é muito boa, né? E os outros estão falando, ó, a gente não é tão bom assim, tá? Não estranhem não, tá? Quando vocês forem ver os runners e tal.
Oh, like an AI teleport?
Yep, AI teleport. So let's see if they'll actually.
Ele tá tentando fazer um teleporte da AI pra fazer com que eles compram logo. Olha só. O Burns estava aqui no comecinho, ele fez esse vai e volta aí, garantiu que o Burns deu uma acelerada no processo aí.
So what that means is that it's actually fully upgraded to its max value. So not only does it have a lot more of a higher ammo capacity than before, but it's also going to be doing double damage. So that is going to be where a big time save is, and where some of the RNG factors in is how early you get that upgrade. I've seen runs where he's way farther into the game and he doesn't have that fully maxed out yet, so to get it so early is really good luck.
Yeah, that's really, really strong. That's probably some of the strongest I've seen. No? Whoop. There we go. And
Olha, eu realmente devo admitir que a mira dele é muito boa.
This is another one of those, like, this is kind of an auto-scroller, but kind of not, because we have to traverse across this highway, but we have to do it in the manner that the game wants us to, in such that, you know, like, we have to wait on our allies to get to the end of the bridge, but we can actually just kind of prep the bridge to be run across like this. So we can take these out right here. Is this guy hiding? He is. Okay, that's fine. There we go. So now we just kind of get to wait on here. But this is one of those things where, like, the game doesn't expect
basicamente ele precisa esperar agora que os aliados cheguem ao fim da torre, da ponte, né?
Sort of things going on with, like, the missiles flying at you that just somehow blow up right before they reach you, but it still is like it'll eventually get moving, you know. It's very weird to see this a lot in the game.
Mas fiquem tranquilos, gente, tipo, em speedrun, velho, todo mundo começa ruim e depois que você joga muito você ainda é ruim e aí você só melhora depois com o tempo, entendeu? Tipo, é querer jogar, entendeu? Tipo, recomendo muito que vocês escolham um jogo que vocês curtem e tal. E brinquem, entendeu? Tipo, não se preocupem muito em, não, eu tô muito longe do recorde mundial, cara. Não se preocupe com isso.
Pick off the robot enemies. So it's really much like a good freedom of expression and choice when you're playing this.
Absolutely. So now we're waiting on burn.
Interessante, ele tá explicando que nessa parte aí, muitas vezes eles têm uma certa liberdade de decisão de como correr essa parte, né? E isso é bem legal, tipo, alguns preferem simplesmente fazer as táticas com granadas, outros preferem simplesmente esperar uma movimentação. É bem legal. Ele tem que ser bom pra você, isso que é importante, né? Tipo, já é meio clichê que a gente fala, mas, tipo, pegar um jogo que você goste é muito importante.
You guys don't know, Platinum was the same company that did Bayonetta.
Metal Gear Rising.
Obscure indie title, Bayonetta, you may have heard of it.
Yeah. With obscure indie developer Shinji Mikami, who directed this game, and Hideki Kamiya, who directed such titles as Beautiful Joe, Devil May Cry.
Wow.
So that's why we have the auto-scrollers in here.
True. You can clearly see Hideki's influence here, dude. Clearly. We also have time for some donations here because you know, this is what's happening for the next
Bem,
minutes.
temos aí um auto-scroller extremamente veloz aí, como vocês podem ver.
That's what I'm hoping for.
A lógica do grupo Junker é exatamente essa. Se você vai jogar o jogo 1000 vezes, que seja pelo menos um jogo que você goste, né?
Also have a comment about Platinum Games and other things. Junko donates $5 and says, "Howdy everyone, Junko here. Platinum Games has made some of my favorite games of the last couple of console generations. Nier Automata, Astral Chain, Vanquish. Good luck, Cosmic. You know your horror family is here to support you." And as for the donation reader, Lat Mackey, aka Sabaping, I'm so happy to hear you on GDQ. Thank you and Cosmic for helping out such a great event for an even greater charity that's desperately needed this year. Thanks, Junko.
We can get a couple more in before we hop into more.
We got plenty. Here's a good one. Waifu donates $100 and says, "Just wanted to give a huge shout out to Cosmic, Bry, and Demonic. All of them are amazing and integral parts of the speedrunning community, and it's a pleasure to watch them do their work on the big stage. The Devil May Cry."
Temos aí várias doações, mandando shoutouts aí pro Cosmic.
I know he does the same for the other communities that he is in. Vanquish couldn't have a better representative. Hashtag doing Sam things.
Yo, waifu, much love, dude.
Thank you, waifu. What a sweet comment. That was really nice.
Yeah, that was really nice.
He's such a wholesome boy when he wants to be.
I could hear it coming through your teeth when he said when he wants to be at the end there.
It's all love, man. It's all love.
Also, another kind of fun thing that we haven't really talked about much, but when you do see Sam smoke, that's actually like a legitimate button prompt that he does on his own. On the harder difficulties, that's actually really important because it does have a gameplay mechanic. Again, this game is very much about looking cool and being able to get like that.
Não, esse negócio de mover na força do ódio aí não vai nessa não, velho. Vai nessa não. Confia que gostar do jogo é a boa.
Also, those snipes, man. Oh my god.
Was that hard? Are those hard? Because that looked really cool.
I can't choose whether.
Okay, you know what? Don't answer it. Don't answer it. I can't. That looked so difficult, dude. I bet that was really difficult. Yes. Don't answer my question. Yes.
That's fair. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. All right. So, this is a good time to mention because of those shots there that every weapon in this game is a projectile. None of it is hit scans. So. A lot of times, if enemies are far away, you do actually have to lead your shots, which is what I had to do in that instance. You don't actually need to take out those enemies. I just like doing those shots because they're fun to do. And it can really just, it's a really good test of your aim and understanding how to lead the shots in the game. So. And unfortunately here, like even if you take out all of the lights, the cart actually has to reach a certain point in the level before it will start moving faster. So.
I'm almost getting anxious. I just want the movement to start again, you know?
Right, exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's a nice water break, but eventually it's like, okay.
Eu tô que nem eles estão falando ali, né? Tipo, quando é que ele anda de verdade, né?
Now I have to pee. Let's go. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, come on, let's go. All right, so here we go. We gotta set 2 high explosives here.
Ei, tamo livre.
And then we're gonna be able to blow up the barricade that's in our way for the cart or the monorail. And then we'll be able to venture on to another boss known as the Buzzard. This is another one of those bosses that's going to appear a few times. Like Demonic said, this game does like to reuse them a little bit. So we're just going to kind of boost dodge around here. This actually increases our iframes.
É legal porque tipo assim, ele é obrigado a variar os movimentos porque se ele dá o salto com um chute, ele acaba ele acaba acertando os inimigos e com isso ele perde tempo. Então o chute é ótimo para movimentação quando não acerta ninguém.
It will actually cause the monorail to move at a slower pace along the rail to the end there. So even though you might lose some time, like,
aquela speedrun de Farfetch nos 15, né? Manjo.
So that boss is down and we're just kind of moving on and we just kind of gotta wait this out here because again the game is like I love my auto scrollers.
Also,
side note,
it's daytime too.
Welcome back.
They turned the lights back on.
Side note, by the way, this is gonna be super random. I know a lot through this GDQ. We've been saying stay hydrated. That's great. I just mentioned pee, so now my brain is just thinking about pee. Don't hold in your pee, by the way, folks. It's one thing to stay hydrated. Also, go pee. Don't ask me why it's not healthy. I don't remember, but don't hold it in. It's not good for you. Seriously, stay hydrated.
Ok. Eles estão aproveitando esse autoscroller para avisar vocês, gente. Vocês têm que se manter hidratados. Não esqueçam de ir no banheiro. Tá? Garantindo aí o serviço público aí pela galera da SGDQ.
I'm from California. I'm very used to it, so.
I hear you. Well, thank you. It's very much appreciated. The chat appreciates it. So we have a $25 donation from Hawkeye Rio that says, when did Pepsi Man get so many guns and kicks? Thanks to all the writers, hosts, and commentators. And then there is a $25 from Holgar that says, best of luck.
Uma doação falou, quando é que o Pepsi Man ganhou essas armaduras loucas aí e arma?
Hashtag doing Sam thing.
Much love, Mulgar. So now we're on to another battlefield here, and this thing in the background that's firing this gigantic laser is called the Creon. Demonic, you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so the Creon is kind of this giant, large, I guess, like, turtle robot. Again, you're pretty much fighting robots through 99% of the game, and this is by far the biggest one. So it's essentially a huge walking tower with just giant lasers and explosives. And it's actually been a big problem for the Marines because they actually can't get their ships anywhere near the core of the array because it's continuously firing and shooting them down. And now it's also heading over towards the big center tower, which if that gets destroyed, then some very, very bad things will happen. So once again, Sam is going to get sidetracked with another mission to, you know, save lives, which Burns doesn't really like, but Sam's actually a good guy. So,
basicamente eles estão tentando impedir a tartaruga mecha ali.
Not really sure what that name is referencing, but
not a clue, dude. Also, I just changed my graphics there to turn on VSync. One of the tanks in this area, its padding gets so messed up at high frame rates that I have to turn on VSync so that it will change around to where I need it to be. Otherwise, I can't shoot at it with this turret. So, yeah, that's a thing. So,
ele teve que mudar o V-Sync ali porque um dos tanques dessa área ele praticamente não é visível sem o V-Sync. Ele jogava num frame rate tão alto que tipo ele mal conseguiria ver.
Alright, so we're going to take out these guys here on the right, then this turret right here we're going to use to take out a tank that's going to come out through the right here. And then there's going to be more at the... Go ahead.
Oh, I do like how this game is one of the few games that actually has only limited ammo in the turrets. It doesn't have like an overheat or recharge mechanic, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, you'd think that, right? I mean, I guess because the game just is like, oh, it's a gun, so I guess we'll just give it ammo. What did I do there? Okay, there we go. Nice. All right, so we're gonna take out this tank right here. It's a little bit slow, but nothing doing. We are Gucci. And excuse me. Okay, and then I'm gonna have to change my graphics back here.
Oh, this menu is tripping right now.
Yep. Oh, I forgot to mention, menu speed is tied to frame rate. In case you didn't think there were enough things that were tied to frame rate in this game, we got another.
Maybe the better question would be,
what is a velocidade do menu também é ligada a frame rate.
How cool Sam is.
Sam's suit, I'm gonna say, that's also not tied to.
Ou seja,
I think that's more tied to the CPU temperature.
Okay.
All right. So here we go. We're going to.
O pessoal tá falando que também é ligado à temperatura da CPU.
Because we have a max rank anti-armor pistol.
Yeah, wow, that's a big difference from the start of the game.
Yeah, you can really see like how far the upgrades, you know, prioritizing one weapon will take you. In terms of, you know, just especially the anti-armor pistol. So now that we're getting into the late game, you're going to see a lot of stuff just getting shredded immediately. This is also a forced overheat section here, so that's why I didn't care about kicking that guy.
E ele tá explicando que, tipo, como ele focou os upgrades numa arma só, isso fez uma grande diferença aí mais perto agora do fim do jogo. Vocês vão ver ele realmente desintegrando algumas coisas.
Shinji Mikami is here, and he's going to launch the wire gun for us. So here we go. Also, this is a... I'm gonna have to concentrate.
E ele mostrando que o Shinji Mikami estava ali. Pra quem não sabe, Shinji Mikami trabalhou no Resident Evil 4, se a memória não me falha.
Okay, he's gonna just head down there instead. That's fine.
Sam.
It's okay.
Oh, got a nice checkpoint though. Nice checkpoint though.
Yeah, it's really good. There we go.
Oh, this is sick. Is this like, is this a
finalmente.
To stay on this rail?
Oh, yes.
It looks really cool.
And it's gonna skip an entire...
Aí sim, viu? É preciso essa movimentação, viu? Ele pode cair ali.
Again, you know, Cosmic just making it look extremely easy when it isn't.
So let's do this right here.
Whoa.
Tá, deixa eu ver o que o pessoal no chat perguntou. Pensei que eles estão falando que aqui é a retransmissão oficial. Sim, aqui é a retransmissão oficial da Summer Games Done Quick 2021. E também perguntaram, vão ter runs exóticas essa madrugada hoje, Hugo? Uma ótima pergunta, a gente pode dar uma olhada na agenda, né? Exclamação agenda aí, galera. Deem uma pesquisada, vejam o que vai rolar. Eu volto só amanhã à tarde, eu acho que com vocês. E mais um grenade shot aí. Coisa linda de ver.
We're going to use checkpoint abuse here to make sure that the tubes are on a consistent cycle. And we're going to do some more movement here. This is another... Oop, I accidentally almost played that a little bit too close to the chest. All right. So we're going to head on through here now, too. Hit another checkpoint.
Beleza. Era uma movimentação razoavelmente complicada ali, mas ele mandou bem.
Nice. Okay. And then for his
Fez o checkpoint para pegar o ciclo de novo.
This is so refreshing to watch. The movement in this game is really a joy.
It's one of my, it's definitely my favorite third-person shooter. I don't know why I'm saying probably. Like trying to hedge my opinions, like no, just commit to it. So there is a little bit. I'm actually gonna go for this. Let me see if we can do this here. This is a bit more of an individual level strat.
IL strats in a marathon, baby.
Oh.
Oh.
We did it. Okay.
Oh my god, let's go.
So scary, dude.
Ó, esquipou o elevadorzinho ali.
Right. Nice. Okay. So that skipped that whole little section there too.
How much time did that save? Because I can't imagine it saved much, but it did look really cool.
It saved probably like 15 seconds or so.
Oh,
so.
okay, never mind. That is hefty. Yeah,
Yeah,
go off
Those
then.
are the best kind of skips. You know, just hashtag doing cosmic
Whoa.
things.
True.
Rocket to the face.
And we're out of there. Cool.
Nice troca de armas ali. Ele anda com a sniper, mas aparece uma rocket. Ele pegou a rocket, disparou nos caras, pegou a sniper de novo e terminou a fase.
Earlier today because I really wanted to go for it if we were on a decent pace. So I'm really, really happy that we got that. Excuse me, sir. Thank you. Okay, so now we're on top of the Creon. I got to catch my breath a little bit here. There is one clip here that I didn't practice because it's really, really hard and very inconsistent. But you can actually clip through one of these platforms with the sniper rifle, but that saves maybe like 5 seconds or something. So
Gotcha.
It wasn't really worth it. I wasn't that much of a daredevil this time around, but another really good IL strat too. So, all right. So now we have to go to the top of the Creon, and we need to sabotage it so that it can stop taking down, giving the Marines so much trouble.
Basicamente ele tá tentando derrubar aquela tartaruga ninja de mecha, né? Ele tá em cima dela agora.
Navigate up enemies' gigantic robotic arms, but like just a slight little shake on the environment, he just has to pause and
yeah.
Has to pause. All right, so there's another fight with Unknown coming up here. However, we actually have a little bit of a treat for the chat here coming up.
Ooh.
So I did definitely remember to turn on music here, so I hope.
I'm excited.
So everybody get out whatever your favorite dance emote is, okay?
All right, I'm gonna get my sour please ready.
Excellent. So here we go.
Also, if anybody has Maxie's dance emote,
Bem, a galera tá mandando bala ali, ó.
We can take a smoke break with our buddies too,
Só na dancinha.
Okay, your time has come, unfortunately.
Wait, dude.
Wait, no! What do you have against
Pô, acabou com o sonho, velho.
Nothing at all, dude. It was just their time. All right, they were in my way.
É isso.
And now you're just.
And look at how cute it is.
Poor Unknown.
True. It happens.
Actually, again, Cosmic is making that easy. That fight is really difficult casually, because again, it'll just charge at you and chew you up and spit you out in one shot.
Tá, aquilo era uma luta, tá? Ali contra o Unknown, mas como vocês puderam ver, zero problemas.
Why would you say you had a treat for Chad if you were gonna blow him up like that?
I never said that I never said it was a
Ok, vamos lá.
It's sort of like when your friend shares their favorite toy with you. It's kind of like that. Eventually, you got to give it back, right?
God of War moment.
Yeah, but if you took it back and then smashed it on the ground,
I mean, fair enough.
I think it's a little bit different.
Fair. But however, I do have a present for both of you. We finally see some color in the game.
Whoa!
After all the grays,
it's green.
The browns, yeah, it's green. It's like a muted green, but it's still okay. It's fine.
Yeah, wow, this game really does have a samey color palette. Yeah.
Good old 2010s, man. 2010s gritty war aesthetic.
This is gonna be a deep cut. maybe it's just because I play too much Bioshock, but I'm immediately reminded of that audio log that you find in Arcadia, where the little girl's like, "Mommy, mommy, what is that? What is that?" Because she's never seen trees in her life because she's been living underwater in a city. Anyway, that's what it makes me think of.
I'm like, I actually went and listened to that audio.
Eles estão fazendo algumas piadas relacionadas ao Bioshock, então, tipo, não peguei muito.
Brio and I are both control runners, so we definitely know that feeling of like a gray, modern kind of background and then being able to finally see color in something else. It's a very nice feeling. It's a good little break.
Mas é alguma coisa relacionada à questão de cor, né? Tipo, era tudo concreto e agora tem um pouco de verde aí.
With the pistol compared to like the beginning of the game.
Absolutely, yeah, because the anti-armor pistol really just does the job of like 2 or more guns. So usually in no DLC, a lot of these like heavier targets, until you have like the max level shotgun, you're going to be using a lot of like the rocket launcher, and then even then, bosses like the Argus cores and stuff, you're always just going to be using the rocket launcher for. So a lot of stuff that like you would use maybe like a situational gun for, or you would swap out a gun to make it so that this is another infinite grenade glitch here, by the way. All of that gets taken over by the anti-armor pistol. So really just tons of time save across the board with this gun. So much utility, so much damage, so good.
Ele tá adiantando uma parte do rolê.
We're just going to be coming up on another turret section.
Okay, we've got plenty coming in for you, the couch, the game, lots of stuff coming in here. We have a $25 donation from Andy V that says, "Hi GDQ, never played Vanquish, but I'm watching it at work because my boss recommended it to the design team as a good watch. So, what's up, Leone? This game is wild."
Olha só que da hora. Tipo, teve uma doação de $25 de uma pessoa que disse: "Eu nunca joguei o Vanquish, mas eu tô assistindo porque o meu chefe disse que era um bom jogo do ponto de vista de design."
Hey Cosmic, you're pretty cool. Shout out to the couch doing an amazing job, and good luck to all the runners we have yet to see. You got this. #doing Sam things.
Thanks for that.
Alrighty, so we actually use the checkpoint resets here not only to despawn enemies and to force these waves to come out a little bit quicker, we also do it to refill the turret section. So, Bri, you get 2 turrets for the price of 1. Wow. Isn't that exciting?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This doesn't make up for killing the robots.
Okay, fair enough.
Bri, we heard you like turrets, so we put turrets into turrets.
So the final checkpoint there is just to make sure that,
Ele também fez aquela adiantada lá de cima da parada pra dar uma acelerada na recarga das turrets ali. Mas os comentaristas ainda não perdoaram por ele ter matado os robôs dançantes.
Also, he's going to leave his buddies behind. So, I guess this might be something that Sam and
F pros robôs dançantes aí.
Burns have in common for this run is that Sam left those robots behind in the dust, and
you did not just leave them behind.
Okay,
get this revisionist garbage out of here. You did not just leave them behind, okay?
But yeah, again, this is another problem that Sam has with Burns is like Burns just said, they're like core and country first. So Burns was pretty much just like.
E sim, eles ainda estavam discutindo algumas coisas relacionadas aos robôs dançantes.
Well, you could have waited like 10 more seconds for them, but. Again, right now they have other priorities. They got to make sure New York doesn't get destroyed, so they can't really linger on those problems too much right now.
Here's another grenade strat here for the mini bogies here. They're all gonna die.
Mais uma grenade strat e ó.
And the Buzzard is gonna come out again. Where is it? Okay, there it is. Okay, a little second there.
You were doing so much damage. Oh.
Nossa.
Okay. Hold on. We got it. Oh, nope.
Ficou faltando hein?
Oh, never mind. My aim's terrible right now. There we go. Okay,
there we go.
Cool. I mentioned, by the way, everything in this game is projectile based. There's a perfect example there. I was trying to I couldn't lead the shots far enough for how fast that thing was flying.
For folks that don't know, a hit scan weapon in a video game would mean that once you shoot it, it instantly arrives at its target. A projectile means it has travel time. So if you ever hear that in any discussion, projectile means, travel time, hit scan means instant.
All right, so we're actually approaching the final fight with the Argus Core. And you're really going to see, especially here, what happens now that we have the fully ranked up anti-armor pistol. Because now this thing's going to come in here. Remember how long it took to beat this guy before? All right, bud. Excuse me.
Ele tá falando, tipo, olha a diferença do começo do jogo pra agora, tipo. 3 tiros pra derrubar um Argus Core. E tudo isso é por causa da munição anti-armor, né, da pistola.
The difference between this Argus Core and the other ones, however, is that it has a desperation attack at the ending, which is a big beam that will kill us in one shot. So, actually, let me make sure that this guy can turn around here, because I don't like this positioning at all.
Oh, esse Argus Core tem um ataque que é One Hit KO.
I don't know. Okay, well, you know what? We're just gonna go for it. That's fine. All right, here we go. So, and he's dead.
Ooh. Did he almost fire it there, or is that still coming?
Oh, it's coming out right now. You see it right there. So if we got hit by that,
é aquele raio ali, tá?
Been an instant minute time loss. You have to redo the entire fight. So very glad that did not.
E ele falou, ó, se eu fosse acertado por aquilo, tipo, é 1 minuto perdido, eu tenho que refazer a faixa inteira, tal.
Right up here, there's gonna be a really weird quirk of some of the enemies here. So we're gonna take out these enemies, and then these dudes that kind of roll in like droidicas from the Phantom Menace, they just blow up on their own. I don't have to do anything. I just kind of have to stand at a distance here. They'll still even drop stuff
that's
for
nice
whatever reason. Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Olha só. Essas bolas aí, inspiradas em Star Wars aí, além de tudo, tipo, não precisa nem matar e ainda por cima dropa loot.
Those dudes look cool, but never mind, I guess. Yeah.
They're locked in an animation there, so they're really not even an enemy in this run. I mean, casually, you probably wait on them.
I guess I should have asked this earlier, but what's the input sequence like for the melee dash cancels? Like, is it pretty tight, or is it just kind of more like a cadence or a rhythm that you have to meet?
It's definitely a cadence or a rhythm that you just kind of have to just make sure that you just repeat over and over again. Same thing with like.
E ele tá explicando também a movimentação do dash cancel, né, que é esse chute, né, quando ele faz com chute ali. É difícil de fazer ou você pega o timing e já era? Ele falou, não, é uma parada de timing. Você pegou o timing é de boa.
Gotcha. So kind of like stringing together like a sequence of like B-hops or something like that in a source game or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gotcha.
Everything here is just dying very quickly. Unfortunately, we were able to refill the anti-armor pistol there too. We also skipped a intercom section there by just doing a checkpoint reset, and that's the only one in the game we can actually skip like that. So it's pretty convenient. All right. So before we get into this section, we have some time for donations too.
Bem, tem um tempinho agora.
We have a $250 donation from Vice Black that says
Mas é bem boa a run, tipo, porque ela tem esses downtimes aí, mas é um tempo de dar uma respirada também. Porque fora desses downtimes aí também, o ritmo é muito frenético, né? Tipo, você é o tempo inteiro, tipo, sabe, ou dashando, ou tipo, matando um exército gigantesco. Tipo, eu curti bastante a speedrun de Vanquish pelo tom geral dela, assim. E vocês, o que vocês estão achando aí? Faria? Não faria? Acho que ele termina dentro do Estimate? Eu acho que com tranquilidade, hein? Seria melhor se o cara fosse para de crab, ó. A carapaça ele já tem.
Also, this is not an optimal strat here, but this is just a strat that I like to do because it's flashy. So,
Whoa, it's
Come here,
Terminator.
bud. Ooh. Ah.
That looks straight out of MBC3.
That was really good. All right. So some stuff just happened in that cutscene.
Nice stretch. Não é a ótima, mas ele falou, eu gosto de fazer.
The creature exploded as they were trying to stop a facility from exploding. So because of the way that it exploded, it actually tore a hole in the colony. So right now, Burns and Sam are going to have to go put down like an emergency lockdown in order to make sure that the atmosphere doesn't turn into a vacuum and everything gets sucked out and there's no more oxygen. So that is their priority right now because of the explosion that the Crystal Viper triggered. So that is kind of where they're going, and that's also why we have this really cool section with like the anti-gravity going on.
And just to note, like the anti-gravity in this
Agora aí nessa área ele tá basicamente tentando evitar que o lugar, como é que chama, perca a gravidade aí e tal, né? Perca o coisa aí. Ele e o Bird estão tendo que agir juntos e tal.
You're also probably wondering the story reason for how they're able to teleport robots. Again, there is no story reason. It's just kind of magical technology stuff.
Okay.
Magical Order of the Russian Stars.
You keep getting me with that. God dang.
Yeah, this game was actually like not designed to be a single game. It was designed for it to have multiple sequels that might have been able to explain some of the stuff, but it's been about 11 years and we haven't gotten a new game, so I'm not too sure.
Maybe someday.
There we go. Now we just use
Nossa.
to actually blow all of the debris off of Unknown, so that we can just take him out really quickly.
Marines very conveniently.
Não sei se vocês repararam, mas esse tiro, esse grenade shot aí foi lindo, né? Tipo, ele fez sem ver o tiro, né? Ele jogou a granada e confiou. E aí ele tinha outro ou não aí também, ele já derrubou, tipo, causou dano, completou.
Definitely not named that way for a specific reason or anything.
I can't think of any.
No, not at all.
Would they really name a character after like a teen drama show?
I mean, that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah,
but
that's
it seems very blatant, doesn't it? That's strange. Yeah. Okay.
But so right now we had another cutscene there. Good news is we had the lockdown put in place, so now we're not going to die of asphyxiation. Bad news is Burns let a lot of people, a lot of the Marines outside there and didn't allow them to get to the safety of the shelters, so they died too. So Sam got even more upset with him, and the story is now that Burns was kind of just hanging back and actually talking to someone. We don't know who, but he was communicating and trying to wait for backup, even though...
Beleza, a gente não deve sofrer mais com o lockdown, mas... Quer dizer, a gente tá em lockdown ali na base, né? Então, tipo, ele não vai sofrer mais com o problema de oxigênio, mas, ao mesmo tempo, ele tem que lidar com alguns soldados do Burns que ficaram pra fora, vamos dizer assim, desse isolamento. Então, tipo... Eles podem morrer, eu acho que agora eles estão tentando se virar aí pra resolver isso.
Okay, almost. If you're deep enough in that. Oh. Yeah, if you get deep enough in that bubble, you can actually just be pushed out the other side, and it saves a little bit of time. All right, and here we go. Cool.
Ali ele tentou ser empurrado, né, pela aquela bolha.
The barricade that's preventing the Marines from crossing right now.
Was that a different slide animation?
E agora ele vai detonar esse lugar, porque é isso que está impedindo os Marines de atravessarem.
Do you think Sam is like just having the time of his life sliding around like that, or do you think he's like super kind of battle focused? Because honestly, like that just looks so fun to do.
How could you not have fun doing that? That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it's like he's probably pretty focused, but at the same time, he's probably like thinking in the back of his mind, like, man, this suit's kind of nice.
Yeah. Again, this is Sam's first time. Like Metal Gear Solid 2, he has had VR training, but this is like his first real like actual combat experience. So I would say he's doing a pretty good job for it being his first time.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Ah, e eles explicam que o Sam, tipo, tá tendo, assim, tudo bem que ele tem a roupa e tal, não sei o quê, mas é a primeira experiência de combate dele, né? E eles falaram que eles acham que ele tá indo bem. O que vocês acham aí? Vocês acham que tá dando pro gasto aí?
Perhaps. Hopefully things don't take a turret for the worse.
Oh man.
How long have you been sitting on that?
Exactly 5 seconds.
Okay, because I remember last time you said you didn't have a pun for it, so I thought maybe you figured it out and you were like, I am saving this specifically for when Brecker hits turrets again.
No, actually, I don't know. Something just, it's like just a light bulb moment, dude. You know, it's just like,
Yeah. Okay, so there's a cutscene coming up in here.
Eu também acho que ele tá indo bem.
You guys remember, we
Acho
haven't
que
talked about him since the beginning of the game, which is literally pretty much what happens in the story as well. Professor Francois Candide, he was the guy who helped train Sam, he made the suit, he made the energy array. Good news is, we're
o Degrasse tomou um chute na nuca ali, mas tá tudo bem.
But first we have to go into the control room, and I'm sure we're not going to run into any familiar face or anything like that. You know, I'm sure there's going to be a lot.
Será que esse Degrasse foi uma referência ao Neil deGrasse?
Oh, that was it? Oh, sweet.
Provável, né?
A couple dudes. Nothing doing.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, that was a little bit anticlimactic.
Oh.
Opa, outro Crystal Viper aí.
Grenade on this guy, and here he goes. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Look at you.
You know, that guy was much more dangerous than Terminator 2, not gonna lie.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Maybe Sam is just that powerful.
I mean, he does have that suit.
True. We got time for one more donation section here before we get into the end of the game. One quick donation.
One quick donation. This is a $25 donation from True G33K that says, I am totally at a loss for what I'm watching right now. I guess this is called Sam Things? Regardless, let's get that Streets of Rage glitch exhibition incentive met coming up a little bit later on in the marathon.
Mais uma doação grande, fazendo piada com o nome do Sam. Mandando aquele Sam thing.
To a little bit of an ambush. So Sam sends the rest of the Marines to Burns because he figures, you know, like, well, we gotta, you know, help him out, everything, what's going on. And then there's a cutscene here, Demonic, I think, that happens.
O Burns foi pego numa ambush. O Sam tá mandando todo mundo pra ele lá.
Professor Francois Candide. And Professor Francois is attempting to destroy something. However, Burns has been revealed to be the betrayer in the government. And not only that, it really Burns that he would do this.
Não! O Burns é o traidor.
Not only that, he's actually working with the President of the United States in order to cause a war. And that's where the help to the Russian Star came in. They helped the Russian Star take over the Russian government, and then they betrayed us. So essentially, to make the United States financially wealthy again by profiting off of war, they essentially caused San Francisco to be destroyed. So now that Sam knows this and knows that Burns is going to attempt to use the microwave energy array beam on Moscow, we have to stop him from actually doing that, while also destroying the beam itself because he killed the professor. So overall, very much the classic betrayal.
Can't believe Burns was an imposter among us the whole time.
He was a little sus, yeah. I mean, I would have just immediately been like, "You're kind of sus, dude." After you left those dudes behind, but I guess
I looked at him, and I thought that's a sussy baka right there.
They should have just voted him out the airlock.
Umas perguntas aqui em casa. Burns caiu? Não, ainda não. Distraidor, rapaz. Vai lá.
I mean, what is even more sus is the fact that we have another auto scroll.
Vai, falta um pouquinho.
That's true too. True. We can take a quick smoke break though.
Mais um pouquinho.
Touch on though, you do see that I did invest some points into the assault rifle here, and this is mostly just to make sure that I have a lot of ammo in the gun before we get to this point, so that you can really just dump it into Burns during this auto scroller, because this auto scroller, while it you know, it's kind of irritating that it's here, we can actually bring his health down very far here, and then we can force him through a couple of rooms to the last area, so we can just finish him quickly. So it is actually kind of helpful in the run that it's there. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to slide on through, throw a grenade. Again, it goes off after I get hit.
We're also going to have this, my favorite cutscene that's going to be popping up. I'll tell it now because we won't have much time for the end of the run. After we defeat Burns, it turns out he says that he's not the bad guy anymore. And not only does he allow Sam to escape and stops trying to kill him, but he also kills his fellow Marines in order to allow Sam to escape and blows himself up along with the other Marines so they don't chase him down, so he can defeat Zaitsev. So I don't know what the point of him trying to kill us was, but here we are, fighting the final boss.
I don't know. This is supposedly Victor
Bem,
Zaitsev.
reviravolta, o Burns não só
Both of them out and then just hope for the best here.
Is this like kind of like the end of a Dishonored 2 run where it's RNG whether he's in the first or second?
Fortunately, no. He's always
não só ele, tipo, ok, eu não sou o vilão, e só que eles, para impedir que os marines deles seguissem o Sam, eles... Ó.
Falcon Punch. And now that Bogey Bravo is a resident of Duff City, we're going to have to take out Bogey Alpha. Wrong one, I'm afraid.
You know, bravo to you, Cosmic. That was a really good joke.
Because I'm an alpha, dude.
Oh, okay.
Alright, so, coming up here is going to be time in about 30 seconds or so. I just have to do one last QTE.
Yeah. Thankfully, you have a lane to turn off your safety inhibitors.
E aí vai ter mais um último Quick Time Event aí.
And we have to do some QTEs here. Boom.
Whoa, first person.
Yeah, it's really weird change of pace. Alright, so here we go.
Obrigado pelo empréstimo.
Alright.
E é isso.
GG, dude.
That is Vanquish, any percent casual with DLC. Wow, what a run. RTA wise, this was actually a PB for me. I don't know how that happened.
E é isso, gente. GG. Esse foi Vanquish.
An IGT PB, but yeah, so that was a 125.09. And my RTA is, though we don't go by RTA, my RTA is a 125.55. So, yeah, that was a
E, obviamente, o vilão tem uma bomba, né?
SGDQ for having me, despite my terrible puns and jokes. Much love to the event and to Doctors Without Borders. Such a great cause. I'm so glad.
GGzaço. E agora, galera, a gente só se vê amanhã. Esse jogo foi montado para ser uma trilogia, entendeu? E é por isso que o final é um pouco diferente. Mas quem sabe, né? Um dia talvez saia. E é isso, galera. Eu me despeço aqui. Muito obrigado pela companhia. Vou passar a bola aí. Nós teremos em breve mais alguém já aqui vindo. Um grande abraço e aproveitem a retransmissão oficial da Summer Game 2021. Fui!
Yeah, this was an amazing run to watch, and I'm really proud of how well you did. That was absolutely insane.
Okay, so if you want to watch more Vanquish and watch a lot of Devil May Cry, I play a lot of Devil May Cry. You can find me at twitch.tv/DECosmic, and on YouTube, I'm DECosmic Runs. So that's really about it for me. Again, thank you so much, GDQ, for having me. It was awesome.